the line right now a very special guest who is going to explain the difference between the how and the wow. Don't go away. After the break, you are going to be introduced to a unique, specialized knowledge. There is nowhere else in the world but with this guest which is waiting to talk to you right now. Don't go away.
It is time to monetize your big idea. Join us on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Become a leader in your category. Change the rules of the game. Change your struggles into confidence, your abilities into possibilities, your challenges into opportunities. Change the things you don't like. All you need is within you. It is time to monetize your big idea. Connect with your ideal clients, attract media attention, share your passion, speak on stage, walk the red carpet on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Be the masterpiece. Get your ticket today at www.SpeakonRadio.com. Be seen, be heard, be present.
Wow, and we are back. And present with us is a very, very dear, extraordinary young man. AJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
We are so excited to have you live on show, and we need help to explaining the difference between the wow and the how.
Yeah, well, it's such a pleasure, and I'm so blessed to be on the show. Sorry I'm so late, but yeah, this is awesome. How many? Where is everyone from? Everyone's from all around the world, I assume, right, Marina?
Yes. So I didn't get the last bit. It was a noise, but in any case, people from all over the world are listening and are expecting to learn something they never knew before. And I know you got that wisdom. And I know you sound like a 40 years young man, but actually you are a lot younger. So what keeps you forever young at 24, AJ?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had the privilege of actually being around personal development and growth and contribution for the last 15 years. My very first, Tony Robbins is one of my mentors, and I've a couple more as well, including my father. But 15 years ago, my dad physically dragged me to a Tony Robbins event. I was 9 years old when I first went. And if anybody's actually been to a Tony Robbins event, there's like 9,000 people from 53 different countries. And one of the biggest things he helps you do is conquer fear. When most people see fear, what do? They see fear and then they take 2 steps back, or they take 3 steps back every time they see fear. So during a Tony Robbins event, he basically helps you condition your mind that when you see fear, you step up and take 3 steps forward. And the best way he does this through a unique experience. It's called the firewalk experience. And this is where you walk across 2,000-degree coals. So here I am, 9 years old. I'm going to my first Tony Robbins event with 200 members of my family. And the first day, someone tells me, hey, you're going to be walking across fire. Now, I'm 9 years old. I'm so excited. But I look at my dad next to me, I look at my mom next to me, and they're both like, I'm not doing this. But me and my sister was 2 years younger than me. She obviously still is 2 years younger than me. She was 7 years old. And we both looked at each other. We're like, this can't be real, but whatever it is, let's do it. And I walked across fire 2 times that night. The first time I walked across with Tony Robbins, like Tony Robbins actually had he was holding my hand as he was walking across. And I walked across and I said to myself, did I really just do this? And I said, Dad, I want to do it again. So I was very fortunate that I was able to walk across the second time. But what I learned at the age of 9, and I still use this principle and I still use this tools and technology today, is being able to get yourself in a peak state in a heartbeat. Any situation I'm in, whenever I'm in a situation at work, whether it's with my family, whether it's in my health, and, I'm scared or I need to change my state instantly, I automatically have built that muscle over the years where I can put myself in a peak state so I can go and take action straight away. So when I was 9 years old, that was my first firewalk. When I was 12 years old, my mom's dream was to always move to the States. And we were living in South Kensington at the time. And she went to a 6-day Anthony Robbins event. And the day she flew back to London, we were living in London. She said to my dad, hey, honey, we're taking the kids, all 4 of us, we're moving to Orlando. That's the best thing for our family. And I remember my dad saying to my mum, absolutely no way. We're staying in London. We're living here. All our family's here. And just to put it in perspective, my dad, at the time, he was the eye doctor for Chelsea Football Club. And so I know, Marina, you used to live in Chelsea. I used to live in Kensington. And so, you know, we had a great position with Chelsea Football Club. And he literally told my mother, we're staying in London. 12 months later, literally the year later, all four of us won a flight to Orlando, and we've been there ever since. Talk about rapport and, you know, building, you know, that communication. And 15 years old when the direction of my life completely changed. I was 15 years old. I was going through a very tough time in my life, physically and also with my friends at school, even like, you know, within my grades. And I remember I was going through a tough time, and I remember Tony Robbins was coming to Orlando in 2006. And I said to my dad, Tony's coming to Orlando. I want to go for all 3 days. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, you can absolutely go for all 3 days, but you have to find your own way there. And I said to myself, how am I going to find my own way there? I'm 15 years old. I have no money. I have no job. How am I going to find my own way there? And, you know, I always believe in the law of attraction. And whatever you put out there, the universe will deliver one way or another. And I wrote on a piece of paper, I said to myself, I will attend the UPW event in Orlando in 2006. And a couple of weeks later, my cousin just randomly sent me a message giving me a link to the Anthony Robbins Foundation. And the Anthony Robbins Foundation actually sponsors kids anywhere between 14 to 17 to attend any event as long as your parents go with you. And I remember I was applying for this scholarship, and I said to my dad, if I get the scholarship, can we all go as a family? And he said, if you get the scholarship, we'll go. And a couple of weeks after I applied, I got an email that said, congratulations, you've been accepted as a youth leader to attend the Unleash the Power Within event in 2006. I was ecstatic. But one quote at that event changed my entire life. And the quote was this, and for those of you that are on this call, write this quote down. It will change your life too. And this quote is, the secret to living is giving. And I was 15 years old. I didn't know what that meant. And the next thing Tony Robbins said on stage was, if you don't give and grow, you die. And I said to myself, if I don't give and grow, I die. And that was my belief. So from the age of 15, even to this day, I'm 24 years old. That was 9 years ago. But 15 all the way to the day I graduated high school, I dedicated my high school years just to give. Right? I became president of National Honor Society, president of student government. I played 4 years varsity tennis. I became presidents of all these different clubs just so I can give my time. There's an organization that's still there in Orlando, it's still there today. It's called Give Kids the World. And for those of you that live in Florida, you may know what this is. It's an organization that sponsors terminally ill kids and their entire families to spend their last 7 days on Earth at Universal. And every Wednesday I fed them ice cream. Every Saturday I fed them dinner that I could. And I'm not saying this to be on my chest, but I'm saying this really just to press how much I gave in high school. In the state of Florida, you need 75 hours of community service to graduate in the 4 years. I graduated 352 because all I wanted to do was serve. In fact, I wanted to serve so much that I emailed every single university I got into right before graduating. And I didn't tell my parents at the time. Can you imagine not telling your parents you did this? I emailed every single university I got into, and I said, this is what I want to do. My name is Ajay Gupta. I want to travel the entire world for 1 year. I want to volunteer in all these different countries. I want to speak to kids in all these different countries. And I want to learn a new language. I want to come back and study economics at a university. And out of the 5 universities I emailed, only one of them replied back to me, and that was University of Florida. And that's what I did. I told my dad, I was like, Dad, I'm taking 1 year off. I saved a lot of money the last couple of years. I spent 6 months back in London volunteering at a homeless shelter, and the other 6 months speaking to kids in India, China, Nepal, Australia. I had no speaking experience at the time, but my passion in life is to make a difference. And then I went to University of Florida for 2 years. I dropped out after 2 years. I studied my own business while I was at University of Florida. I honestly learned more in studying my own business and watching people around me do business than studying business at UF. And then a couple months after dropping out of University of Florida, I'll never forget, I was volunteering at a Tony Robbins event. I was standing in the back of the room, and Tony's wife literally came up to me and said, "Hey, AJ, we see you at all the events. You've been with us for a long time. We want you to come work for us." And I said to her, "Sage, I would love to come work for you." And that was 3 years ago, and it's my privilege and honor to say that I work with the #1 success coach on the planet, and I know what he's done for my life, what he's done for my family's life, and I'm very proud to say that I get to help Tony in his mission. And I know, Marina, he's helped you out tremendously as well. So that's pretty much my life story in a nutshell. I'm very privileged, and it's because of Tony Robbins and different events that I've been to who I am today. And I remember the last person, I don't know who the young lady's name was who was just speaking. She said, you can either, in a job, you can either change your attitude or change your job. And, I get people tell me every day, oh, you're so lucky you've had all these experiences. Yeah, there is. I do believe in luck. 10% of it is luck, but the other 90% is what you do about it. You can either choose, is this the end or the beginning? Is life, is God punishing me or is God, rewarding me? And everyone makes two choices in life. And I decided every day I decide to live by, just being grateful every single day and accepting life and not having life happen to me, having life happen for me.
Wow, AJ, I have to add, apart from the fact that I can't believe you found the time to join our conversation live and bring so much value, and it's so profound. When we speak, I'm taking notes. So you remember when we met last week, and you were so kind and said, actually, don't come all the way to Santa Monica. We'll meet somewhere in the middle, just to make my journey bearable. I'm so grateful for that, because after we left our meeting, the owner of the Greek restaurant where I randomly find a place where we can meet came out and said, I really need your help. And I said, how can I help? And he said, well, we have a project and we are trying to organize a massive movement. It's going to be all over the world. And he was telling me about his project. And you won't believe it, but we are meeting today. And he wants to be part of our own movement, and we are joining forces. And there are people from all over the world which are going to embrace the Academy of Significance spirit and give everyday people a sense of significance, because then they will be able to see what they can bring into the world, how much they can give. And talking about, so I'm so grateful for that, and you are going to meet them. It is going, I think it was your energy, I think must have been, because why else, or his energy, because why else would meet at that place, random place, and everything is coming together in a way that I never even envisaged. So, but I learned over the years that, especially since I work I took the walk on the fire, that it's always about living with the end in mind. And Tony Robbins teaches you when you walk on the fire to have a mantra and think of the celebration at the end of the walk. So to me at the time, the mantra was speak on stage, speak on stage, speak on stage, because I was terrified. And each time somebody would ask me to speak, I would have a moment like I'm thinking, I'm going to die now, right here, right now. But after Tony Robbins' course, I just become a different person, and I start living with the end in mind. Because fear, you're talking about fear. So what is fear of living? I think it's basically fear of dying. So it's not doing what you come here to do and be, and being not knowing your worth and not knowing how much you mean to other people. And this world, which is a big puzzle, which is not perfect, it's not perfect because of you when you are the missing piece. And it's how putting yourself together and getting the antidote to yourself, getting out of your own way, you take responsibility for your own gift, and you become the masterpiece, making the world a better place. So I listened to your story, and I look to what you are about, and you are always about giving. And the other day you said, well, I want to give more. So you offered to our listeners and to the participants coming to the event we are having this weekend